Old woman, I think I'm going to be cutting ties to you now.
Huh? What are you going on about now? Did something happen to you, Hope?
This isn't about what's happened to me, Mom. This is about keeping things from ever having to happen. And that's why I no longer want anything to do with you. I'm going to get married, so I have a new life coming to me.
Oh, is that right? Congratulations, Hope. It makes me so happy inside to hear that my own little baby is finally going to be getting married. That's just so wonderful for you, as the man you're with right now seems like a true gentleman. So I can see you both being really happy with one another forever.
Well, all he really is a nice man that happens to have a lot of money to his name.
Huh?
His looks aren't all that good, so I'd have to say that he'd be a 4 out of 10 if not for that wealth. But because of all that money I've seen on him, he's a 10 out of 10. So that's why, after we have our wedding, I can give up on having to work any lousy jobs anymore and be a stay-at-home wife. I'll have the most relaxing life ever being his housewife. I'm so glad to see that I won't have to walk the same path that my poor and depressing mom has had to go down.
Wait, what you said just then is a bit too rude, right? That just made me feel a little sad inside, Hope. I've been doing a wonderful job as a mother raising both you and your older brother without a man to help me out. So are you trying to say to me that you don't feel any kind of thanks towards what I've done for you?
Thanks towards you, huh? All I've been thinking about is how I'm finally going to have the chance to cut ties to my low-life mother. I don't feel any form of thanks, and all I want to feel is the loss of my mother. I'm not even able to rely on you for anything anymore, and that means I don't want you asking me for anything.
Are you actually being serious about cutting ties to me? You think that just because you're going to be married, you can just cut off your own mom? Or are you really trying to say that you don't give a crap about me as your mom?
You already know the answer to those questions. I really don't care for you at all, and I just can't stand being around you anymore. All you're doing by being my mother now is staining my image.
I can understand you forgetting a lot of the sacrifices I've had to make birthing and raising you when you were younger. But you saying all these really hurtful things to me now when you're supposed to be acting like an adult is just heart-wrenching.
I never needed you to sacrifice anything for me back then, Mom. By the way, you're getting into your 50s now, yet you're still working as a traffic conductor? Aren't you embarrassed to be standing on the streets all day working at your age? It even makes me feel embarrassed knowing that you're out there doing such a sickening job at your age.
I don't feel any kind of embarrassment from what I do. I actually happen to really enjoy the job and am confident in it. I get that there are times where the work can be tough for me considering I'm getting old, but I still find it a good job. I put my all into this work, and I don't want to be called a lowlife for working a job like this.
That kind of thinking is so gross, and it's making me want to vomit even. I'll make it very clear to you right now that I don't want a lowlife woman like you coming to my wedding.
You don't even want me at your wedding? You're telling me that you're going to cut ties to me and that you don't want me at your wedding. Are you trying to make your own mother cry? Have you even had a chance to think about how your words might be hurting me?
I'm telling you that I can't deal with some traffic conductor or whatever you are showing up in my life anymore. I was lucky that my brother ended up showing me to one of his friends that then ended up being my soon-to-be husband. And now I'll be able to be treated well for the rest of my life. The man I'm marrying's parents run their own company. And right now, they are talking about giving the company to him soon, and that'll mean I get to be the wife of a CEO.
And I think that's very good news for you. But does that give you any reason to be talking poorly about me? I'm your mom after all, and I should be treated with way more respect than this.
I'm seen as being a perfect match for my man's family, and having someone like you still tied to me is just awful. I didn't even bother asking you to come and meet his parents when we all got together.
What? Has all of that already happened then?
It sure has, Mom. but we had no desire of you coming along to see them. And I mean, I'm going to be cutting ties to you anyway, so it's not like you really need to see them.
You have to stop talking about wanting to cut ties to me, okay? Why would anyone do that to their mother when nothing's ever happened to warrant such a choice? You think that just because your man has money and because you think I'm some kind of lost cause, you can cut ties to me? Don't you feel terrible saying such things to your mom?
I've been telling you how I feel about all of this pretty clearly, right? I don't even want a lowlife like you coming to my wedding to see us. And after the wedding, I'm cutting ties to you, and so is the rest of his family. You can go run off somewhere and live by yourself, you lost cause of an old traffic conductor.
If you're going to keep it up with all of those heartless phrases, then I think I'm going to reach my breaking point, Hope. So are you really telling me that this is what you're wanting to say to me?
You already know that I'm wanting to say all of this. I do not want anything to do with a lowlife old woman. And the moment that I marry and have my wedding, things between us will be over. So just stay away from my wedding, would ya?
Are you really okay with this?
You're starting to get on my nerves here. How many more times are you going to ask me if I'm okay with what I've said? If an old hag like you, who doesn't even work a needed job, comes to my wedding, you'll embarrass us all. And beware that there won't even be a seat for you at our very luxurious wedding.
All right, then. I won't go.
And don't forget that after, we are going to be no more.
You're asking me to not come to your wedding, so don't even worry about me being around you anymore. But you're the one asking for us to cut ties, so I'll make sure of that. Hope, are you really certain about this? You're fine with losing me as your mom?
I have told you already that of course I'm certain. I'll finally be able to live the life of my dreams now that you're no longer holding me back.
Well, that's just wonderful. Then you go right ahead and live that life you've always dreamed of. I can see you care about nothing regarding all the blood and sweat I've given for you. And so I'll do the same with you, and forget about you ever being my sweet little girl. This'll be horrible. Goodbye forever then, Hope. Make sure you never come back asking for my help, okay?
Who would ask you for anything? I should be saying that to you, you lowlife.
I recommend that from now on you don't call a stranger something like that, as it's not good manners. But it's not like you'll be talking to me anymore anyway, right? What do you want with me?
Mom! Are you able to come to the wedding right now?
I don't remember having a daughter named Hope in my family, so can you please tell me again what you want with me?
You don't have to keep acting like that anymore. Your daughter is in a bit of a tough spot right now, so can you come? Hurry up and get here, please. To my wedding.
Before you were telling me not to come to your wedding and that both you and I were no longer family, right? So I'm only doing as you've asked for me, and there shouldn't be any complaints about that, right?
I told you that you can forget about all of that now. I'm sorry that I happened to talk a little too much with you last time. But today is the day of my wedding, okay? You have to be here for your daughter's wedding.
Listen, Hope, you need to cut the crap right now. I no longer think of you as my daughter anymore, and that means I'm not going to go to your wedding. So now tell me why you're even bothering to text me in the first place right now.
The reason is that my husband's family is all upset with me right now because you never showed up to my wedding. I'm not sure why they would care at all about you being here or not, but they're telling me that if you don't come, they're not going to let the wedding happen.
And that would be right of them. A long while back, I was the one that saved your husband's father from a terrible car accident. And the only reason you're getting married to his son now is because of me. I was the one that thought his son would be a perfect match for what was my cute little daughter.
Huh? What are you going on about? What story is that? I heard that he was introduced to me by my brother.
I know that already. But we only said all of that so that you didn't feel like you were being forced to date him by your mother. We decided it was better to have your older brother say he was a friend of his in order to keep all of that under wraps for a while. You're the only one that's believed that this whole time, while everyone else knows that I was the one that recommended you to his son. Normally, they would have never let someone like you, who never had any accomplishments in or after school, or ever worked a proper job before, marry their son. But because I told them that you were a wonderful daughter and that you'd be just like me, a selfless and family-focused woman, they agreed to let their son meet you.
What? So you're telling me this is all because of you that I'm finally with someone who's going to marry me?
That's right, Hope. But I know that you won't ever believe what I'm saying here. And you probably can't even imagine something like this ever happening to you.
Well, I never knew about this before. Why didn't anyone tell me something like this happened?
You never really cared to listen to anything I've told you in the past 5 years, so why waste my time talking to you about it when someone else could? I knew you'd never listen, and that's why I just let you be.
Well, yeah, I probably wouldn't have ever listened to what you had to say about it. But it doesn't matter now. I understand what's happened. Now, can you come here and see us? I'm telling you, it's all right to come to my wedding now.
Why are you asking me that like everything's all fine and dandy now?
Huh?
You are no longer my child, and I'm not your mother. So it's not happening. I seriously never thought that my own daughter would be as bad as you. Someone that looks down on others for the work they do when you don't even have a proper job of your own. You were never this ruthless when you were a little girl, Hope. But you are just so screwed up now that I can't handle talking to you about anything anymore.
Hold on a second, Mom. Can you calm down a little? What the hell are you trying to say to me right now? Are you actually still upset with me after what happened a while ago?
It's not that I'm upset with you about it. Rather, I've just had enough of you and your selfish attitude. You act like a total witch who doesn't give a care in the world for anyone besides herself and will only want me around when she needs me. I've been the one to raise you for more than 20 years now, Hope. Yet you haven't shown me any ounce of gratitude for any of the effort I put into you. All you have to show for my effort now is saying you want to cut ties to me because you found yourself a man with lots of money. That is so messed up that I cannot even believe what I've heard from you still.
I'm sorry. I suppose I did go a little too far by saying that. But I never said any of that to you with the means of hurting you. I'm sorry that I got a little carried away and said some rude things.
It's too late now to apologize to me for any of that. I no longer want to think of you as a part of my family anymore. And after today, I promise you that I'm never going to have anything to do with you again.
What? Are you for real? Don't say such hurtful things like that to me. If you don't come and see my wedding, there will be no more wedding for us to be at. That will really make things bad for my situation.
Why do you think I care about your situation?
Well, because if your daughter is in a bad situation, you'll feel bad for me as well, right? So that's why you need to hurry up and get over here. You don't want for your daughter's wedding to be canceled because you didn't show, right?
I don't care what happens to your wedding, actually. And can you stop it with calling yourself my daughter and things like that? You are not my daughter and never have been.
What? You're going to be that mean to me now?
Who was the one that started all of this by being so mean to me? I forgot, but wasn't it you that's been a little witch to me for a long time now? At first I thought you were just having a couple of bad days, and that's why I never bothered to ask what was wrong. But even after graduating from high school, you've been very rude to me and given me the cold shoulder. And the fact that I still cared for you even after you turned 18 with no thanks in return was embarrassing for me. I really was a bad mother for doing that for you. But it's been because of me being a bad mother to you that you were able to get married to that man. This low-life mother of yours happened to save someone's life and in return give you a chance at having a husband.
Are you really that mad at me for calling you a lowlife? I get it, Mom, and I'm sorry that I said such a thing about you. How many more times do you want me to say I'm sorry for all of that? I never said any of that to put you in a bad mood or anything, okay?
Then why were you saying such hurtful things like that to me? My whole life I've gone on hearing all sorts of hurtful things from people. But what you were saying about me was the worst I've ever had the misfortune of hearing. But it's not like I care anymore about all of that because you're no longer my daughter.
I told you not to say that about me. I'm still your daughter, right? You shouldn't even be trying to ruin your own daughter's wedding right now because that's not what moms do. You get what I'm saying to you, right?
I have no idea what you keep going on about. And I don't care to understand. If you think you can be married to him without my help, then go ahead. But just know that I'm not there to help you anymore. I want to become a complete stranger to you now. And I've already moved back to my parents' house.
What? You moved back there?
So, that means if there is a chance that your husband does throw you out, you won't have anywhere to run home to. And don't forget that your brother is also upset with you.
He's mad at me now too?
He has no plans of coming to your wedding now either. And he doesn't plan to hang out with you anymore, the same as me.
So not only are you mad at me, but he is as well? I never even did anything that bad besides say a few rude words, right?
You might think that what you did doesn't mean much to anyone, but you ended up doing something that will end up even hurting those that are strangers to you. Now, if you understand what I've meant, can you please leave me alone?
I do understand you, Mom, and right now I feel so sorry for what I've done and want to fix all of this. So can you please come here and help my wedding get moving? Please, Mom. I know that I screwed up by saying what I said to you, and I promise that I'll never call you a lowlife or anything close to that ever again.
It's too late for that, Hope. If you've really learned that what you've done is wrong, then use your new understanding to do better after all of this. I know that you don't have a family anymore, but I'm sure there will be someone in your future willing to be around you, as long as you have learned from this.
What? Are you really planning on just disowning your own daughter like this?
How many times are you going to ask me if I'm being serious about this? You were the one that asked for this, so you should be thrilled that I'm gone now. So leave me alone, please. I told you never to ask me for anything, right? Goodbye forever now. It would be a miracle if your wedding was still to happen after this.
In the end, the wedding that Hope was supposed to have with her husband was canceled, and that completely sent her into a deep depression. And following that, her marriage fell apart as well with her husband, and she lost the right to ever go into his house. Not only did she lose her husband, but her brother and her mother as well. And that left Hope with very little hope in the end. Her mom did as she had asked and cut ties to Hope completely, and then went and apologized to the family of the groom. And as a gift of good standing between the two families, they ended up giving her a new job within their company, where she'd be able to retire in a few years with a nice package. So she ended up ending things with a lovely life, where she could feel safe living alone in her house. Where someone like Hope ended up losing all her family and was with nothing more than the clothes on her back in the open road. In other words, she's homeless and without money. It's safe to say that things you should never say to your family should definitely never be said to any strangers either. But Hope went against that, and this is her outcome.
Hey, Sophie, where are you?
I'm at my office. Didn't I tell you this morning that I'm going to be working overtime today?
Why do you always come home later than me recently? Are you cheating on me?
No, I'm not. I'm responsible for 2 projects now.
I see. Where's my dinner?
Didn't you see the note on the dinner table? It's in the fridge, so heat it up and eat that.
I don't want to eat cold-ass food.
Sorry, but there's nothing I can do.
You're joking, right? Didn't you think about coming home early from work and continuing to work on the project tomorrow?
No, because I have a meeting in like 20 to 30 minutes about one of the projects, so I need to stay here.
Do you want to get divorced?
Oh my god, do we need to do this again, Ian? Please don't tell me that you submitted the divorce papers at the clerk's office like last time.
I just did because you decided to argue with me.
What? You should stop doing that even though you don't mean it, because people there are really busy and don't have time for that bullshit.
It's your fault because you always argue and make fun of me and don't do your duties.
When? Also, what do you mean, duties?
All the time. I mean, duties, I mean like cooking and cleaning and laundry and taking out the trash, etc.
This isn't the 1930s. When we got married, didn't you promise me to help me with the household chores? You did the first year.
Yeah, I did, but I'm busy with work and tired every day now.
I work too, but I do my best to do everything. Do you not appreciate me? I woke up early today and cooked dinner just for you. All I'm saying is to heat it up and eat it. Do you not know how to use the microwave?
See? This is what I'm talking about, okay? This.
What? Please don't tell me that this is the reason you decided to get divorced today.
This is the reason you argued with me that you don't want to come home and made fun of me for saying that I don't know how to use the microwave.
Ugh, come on, we're not in kindergarten. This is something that we can talk about, not getting divorced. Last time was because I was watching too much TV, and before that it was because I gained weight. I mean, really?
You got some damn nerve to argue with me. You will face problems if you get dumped by me. Do you know your place now? If you don't want this to happen, then you better listen to me.
I will say the exact same thing back. You think that divorce is some kind of punishment, but stop filing for divorce whenever we fight. I will go to the clerk's office next time to cancel the divorce even though I'm embarrassed when I have time. Have you ever thought about how people there feel about this? Probably not, because you don't care about others.
Excuse me? Watch your attitude.
Mine? You should watch yours. You'll regret acting like that later on.
How do I have attitude? I'm hardworking and a sincere man, and you should be lucky that you married me.
Seriously? Oh my god, sorry, but I need to laugh. Thank you for this because all my anger flew away and I can do well on my meeting from now on. So, will you excuse me? A few days later.
Hello? Why were you ignoring me all morning?
Because I'm pissed. If this project meeting doesn't go well today, it's your fault.
Why are you pissed? I just asked you to do the dishes.
I couldn't get enough sleep because of you. You woke me up in the middle of the night and told me to wash your dishes that you used. Wash your own damn dish. Is this revenge for the other day?
I don't know what you're talking about, but I won't wash it because that's not my job.
Look, if you don't want to do it, you could have soaked it in water so I could wash it in the morning.
I don't like it when the dishes are in the sink. You should know that.
Also, stop lying. You woke me up at midnight yesterday to wash your clothes because you got soy sauce on it. Doing these kinds of things 2 days in a row is kind of obvious that you're doing it on purpose.
Do you have proof?
I don't need proof. Anyone who saw this will agree with me. I'm not a housekeeper. Okay, you know what? I'm fed up with you, so I decided not to help you from now on. Be thankful that I listened and helped you up until today. I don't even want to see your face anymore, so I will not go to the clerk's office to cancel the divorce. It's so funny how you threaten me with one piece of paper.
Shut up! Do you think that you can act that way towards me?
Yeah, and? Why don't you think about my feelings too? Actually, why don't you learn how to be nice to people?
Oh my god, it's such a waste of time talking to you.
Okay, cool. We have the same opinion. Great. Bye! Later that day.
I'm not coming home tonight.
Okay, Are you working overtime also?
Nope, I gotta go to a small party tonight, so I'm gonna get a couple of drinks.
Party? For what?
Divorce? With you! So, pack your bags tonight and leave the house tomorrow, okay? I don't wanna have to see your face, so leave early, okay?
What a coincidence. I'm going to have a party with my coworkers too. Roger that.
I bet that you're crying right now. You can cancel the divorce if you want to.
I'm not, and why would I want to cancel it? Hey, guess what? I ordered an expensive bottle of champagne for the party tonight. Do you want to see?
No thanks. Are you sure you want a divorce with me? You'll be single again and your parents will not be happy with this.
Yeah, and? I want to say the same exact thing back, and of course I want to divorce you. I was going to divorce you the next time you submit the papers to the clerk's office, so thank you for doing that. I appreciate it.
So, you're 100% okay with divorcing me?
Yep, I really don't care because I'm not a stay-at-home wife. I actually work full-time, unlike you who works part-time and earn a lot more than you.
Are you making fun of me?
No, I'm just telling you facts. Anyways, I'll leave the house as you wish, so make sure to pay for the mortgage, okay?
What are you talking about?
The mortgage. I've been paying for it this whole time.
No, I was paying for it, okay? Stop lying. You were using our card, right? It's mostly my savings.
The card is under your name, so you probably thought that you were paying for it, but I've been depositing money into that account every month to pay the mortgage. Do you know what else I was paying for? Living expenses, utility costs, and food expenses.
What? You never told me about this? Why didn't you tell me?
We don't even talk to each other. Plus, I was thinking that you'll just argue with me and threaten me with the divorce papers, so I just didn't say anything. Just wondering, was that your hobby or something? Anyways, I was fed up with that, and so that's why I did everything on my own. Well, now that we're getting divorced, I'll stop depositing money into our account and give your card back with only your savings in it.
Wait, so you weren't paying the mortgage and living expenses with just my earnings?
Were you seriously thinking that we could live off of only your earnings? Really? You only earn like 1.5 grand per month. If you married someone else, how are you going to support that person? I advise for you to start thinking about how you're gonna pay for everything.
That's gonna be a problem for me, so I have to go to the clerk's office now and cancel the divorce.
It's closed already, so just give up.
Then I'll go first thing in the morning, okay? I wasn't planning on divorcing you in the first place.
Then why did you submit the papers so many times? It was just a threat, right?
You're the bad guy here because you wouldn't listen to me. I thought that I needed to teach you a lesson. Do you not know that? I can't believe that you're gonna make me go tomorrow to cancel it. Are you serious? But I'll go because I'm nice.
What lesson? You just treated me like shit. Do you really think that you're nice? Where?
Yeah, because I'm going for you. You better be thankful.
I never told you to go for me, so it's gonna be a waste of time.
Why?
Even though you try to cancel the divorce, I'm not going to.
Are you being serious now, Sophie?
Yes, I knew you wanted to argue, so that's why I hired a lawyer.
Wait, a lawyer? Stop exaggerating and calm down.
I'm not exaggerating. I'm going to ask the lawyer to help me file a divorce, and I also found out that you were cheating on me, so I'll make you pay for alimony.
I never cheated on you. What are you talking about?
Are you serious? Does the name Gina ring a bell?
How do you know? Nothing happened between us, though. We're just friends. I can call her right now to prove that.
You don't need to make excuses and call her because I really don't care anymore. Plus, I have all the evidence. I also noticed that your payment was decreasing little by little, so I thought something was up. Do you know the reason why I kept calling off the divorce? I wanted more evidence from you. I was tolerating you this whole time.
So you were spying on me, huh?
Yes, because I wanted to take a revenge on you. I'll send all the evidence to the company so everyone will find out.
No, please don't. I might even get fired.
Might? You will get fired because my uncle is your boss. Did you forget?
Oh shit, I forgot!
I'm going to make your life a living hell. This is for threatening me and yelling and arguing with me. You were acting tough to me this whole time, but you're just a pathetic man who doesn't even have money. Can you pay for the lawyer? Probably not.
Can you think this over, Sophie? I'll apologize to you as many times as you want. I'll never cheat and argue with you and threaten with divorce papers. Just please give me one more chance.
I think I gave you many chances before, but you never decided to change your attitude, so it's kinda late now. Oh, just to let you know, my mom is moving my stuff with the moving company right now, so the house is yours from today.
What? Already? But what about the payments, though? Can you at least help me for this month?
Why would I? You wanted me to leave ASAP, and that's exactly what I did. Don't ask me about the payment because the house is not mine anymore. Plus, we're going to be strangers. Good luck for everything, and don't even think about asking me for help. I told you that you'll regret it later on. After the incident. We officially got divorced, and since all of the evidence arrived at the company, everyone found out about the incident and is giving Ian the cold shoulder. But since he needs to pay for alimony, he can't quit, so he's tolerating working there every day. He was dumped by Gina, and since he couldn't pay the mortgage, he got kicked out and he now lives in a crummy apartment and has nothing left but debt. He asked his parents for help, but they don't even listen to him, so he has nobody now. Looks like he's regretting everything, but it's too late. On the other hand, I got promoted to manager after my 2 projects were successful. I'm very busy every day, but I don't have to deal with that scumbag anymore, so I am living a stress-free life.
I've come to learn that Avery is from an only mother household. I have to say, I'm pretty disappointed by hearing about this. Andrea, are you sure you're not confusing me with someone else right now? Why would you think that? You're Avery's mom, right? Kelly or something like that? Well, I just never assumed that you'd contact me out of the blue saying things like that. And yes, Avery comes from a single mother household. But what does that have to do with you? Recently, when I came over to meet you, I was surprised. Not even you seem to care that much about your own situation, and I was really left wondering about you. Having a single mother household is really uncool, you know. I was wondering why nobody had ever talked about you both living that way, and I finally had to end up learning about it. Uncool? Andrea, I'm sorry. I really don't have a clue what you're trying to say to me. If you don't get to the point here, I'll never be able to understand you. Of course you don't understand me, do you? The fact that Avery only had a single parent growing up that raised him is way uncool. And it's fair to say that you'll never be able to realize just how uncool the both of you really are. Andrea, are you talking down to me right now? Well, I wouldn't say that I'm talking down to you in any sense, but oh, maybe I am actually. A person like you as Avery's mother is not what I wanted to see. And why are you acting like this right now? Is there even a good reason for you going out of your way today to text me about this? You could say the good reason is to keep you in check, I guess. Keep me in check? For what reason, though? If you really want your son to end up becoming happy with me, please don't come to our wedding, okay? LOL. Huh? I think that the both of us don't want anyone else knowing that you've been his single mother this whole time, right? LOL. If you don't show up, we can just say that his parents weren't able to make it, and we'll leave it at that. But if you did come and had no man to accompany you, then everyone would know the truth. LOL. Even if other people learn about me, it's the truth and there's nothing anyone can do about it. And I'd like to know what's wrong about raising my son in a single-parent household. I made sure to raise Avery into my perfect little man. I never said there was anything wrong with Avery. I'm only saying there's something wrong with you, LOL. With me? You ended up getting thrown away by your husband, and now you'll turn into a lonely and old grandma because of it. Don't you feel that by coming to our wedding, you could curse the two of us or something? If you really want to care about the two of us, stay away from the wedding, please. You can look through the window or something, but just don't come inside the building. What are you talking about? I was thrown out by my husband? Have you never even talked with Avery about any of this? This is going to be Avery and my wedding, so I'd like for you to listen to what I want. And one other thing, don't say anything to Avery that could cause any one of us to regret this, okay? If you end up having him lose trust in me or something, I will never, ever forgive you. If you're praying for your son to end up happy, you have to pray for my happiness as well, right? But don't you feel that all of this is asking way too much from me? I have every single right as Avery's mom to come and see him get married on his very special day. Well, I have nothing else to say to you. Please and thank you, Kelly. And make sure you don't say anything stupid to Avery. You have to make sure that the two of us can remain happy together forever. Say anything stupid? What am I supposed to say then? Avery, have you not spoken to Andrea at all about our situation? About what happened with your dad and about this family?
When you say dad, what do you mean? Of course I told her about him. And everything I could about him, at least. What's going on with you, Mom?
Well, if you've told her about him, that's a start. But I think she's misunderstood something you brought up to her.
Misunderstood something about Dad?
It doesn't really matter. I'm just glad that you did, in fact, talk to her. By the way, how have things been going with wedding preparations? Are you making it by all right? I'm aware that you also have to keep up with work while preparing, but just know that you can take a break whenever you need one.
I'm fine, Mom. I've been doing pretty well, actually, with everything.
Are you and Andrea working well together to get everything worked out?
Actually, Andrea really hasn't done anything to help.
What? But this is the wedding for the two of you, right?
Seems that Andrea is preoccupied with a couple other things right now. She goes home to her parents all the time and has various things happen over there.
Is that so? When I had last talked with her parents and everything, they didn't make it seem like they were all that busy.
Is that so? Well, recently it just seems that Andrea's become really busy. I haven't really had time to worry about what she's been up to. But maybe it's time I checked in with her about it.
Well, she is going to become your wife, right? The both of you are going to be living life together from now on, so it's best that you talk with her whenever you can.
Now that you mention it, there is something that's been on my mind.
What's that been? I shouldn't really have to be thinking about this at all, but you're still not planning to come to the wedding today, right? Huh? Of course I plan on coming to my son's wedding. Well, if that's going to be the case, then I'll let the front know not to let you in, LOL. Excuse me? That's not something you should be telling them on the day of the wedding, right? Didn't I tell you this already before, though? I get that it's hard for you to understand me. To be straightforward, having the mother of a single mother household is too embarrassing for me, so don't come to this wedding. I see that you think you can tell me what to do as though you have some control over me or something. But do you not see what you're asking for right now? I know very well what I want, LOL. I want to make sure that everyone ends up happy, and to make that possible, I have to get you as far away from us today as possible. I want to make sure that Avery can enjoy today without the embarrassment of a single and old mom in the room. I bet that a woman like you is trying to bleed your son dry of all of his money, right? I really hate the thought of that. So I think I'll have us cut ties with you as well. You're even going as far as to tell me that now? You really have little clue of what you're talking about. About what, LOL? If you want to make sure that the two of us have a wonderful life together, you have to sacrifice any connections you have to us, right? A wonderful life, huh? You're saying that me not coming to the wedding will help Avery become happy and have a wonderful life. That's what I'm saying, LOL. I'm aware that Avery has never told you this, but I think he really sees you as a strain on his image. And so, a poor and selfish grandma doesn't need to be here today. We can just keep the fact that you raised him all by yourself as a secret between us. So if you really care about your son and daughter-in-law, then don't come to our wedding. Understood. I won't go. And I'd like for you to cut ties with us as well. I no longer want to hear anything from or see you ever again. Well, up until now, I've never once been the one to contact you. It's always been you contacting me to ask about things or make rude remarks. Well, from now on, I don't want you texting or calling your son either. I just want to make sure you enjoy suffering as a lonely woman all the way until you keel over. Now, I'm going to get ready to enjoy my wedding. Have fun, Andrea. I will do as you wish and stay away from that wedding for you. But I'm sure you'll soon see that me not being there will result in a few problems for you. But if that's what you want from me, then I have no choice. Now, I'll be going. You plan on coming to the wedding, right? Huh? What are you talking about now? I told you that I'm doing as you wanted and am not coming to that wedding anymore. That should be good enough for you, right? Now goodbye. But that's going to screw me! I want to call you right now, so please answer this time. And please come here and attend our wedding. You told me again and again to make sure to never come to that wedding. So why have you had a change of heart? I'm having a really hard time understanding you now, even more than I did before. It looks like my parents are going to get really upset with me if you don't come here. Really? I'm not really sure myself, but when I said that you might not make it today, they got all worked up. I suppose that would happen. Huh? What do you mean? When they learned that I raised a powerful man like my son all by myself, they felt as though I deserved to be happy myself for all my hard work. So they planned to have me at this wedding today to show me that my son would be marrying a supposedly amazing woman like their daughter. And what's even more surprising is the fact that because my son is doing so well for himself, he's become a customer of your family's company. But you ended up telling the mother that raised such an amazing man to stay away from his own wedding. I'd assume that if the wedding gets canceled, that wouldn't be too out of the ordinary, right? They respect you? Why? I knew that my dad's company works with Avery as he's one of the company's customers and all, but, well, I was able to make him into such a respectful and hardworking young man all by myself. And because of that, your parents really respect me for everything I had to sacrifice for Avery. Even Avery really respects me for what I did. And I'm so lucky that he's always there to tell me that. You're the only one that seems to differ, though. You seem to think that because I was a single mother, it's okay to make fun of me. You even went as far as to ask me to stay away from the wedding and to cut ties with you after all. That's what they're thinking about? Well, I've been thinking about what'll happen after we get married. I know that for the two of us to become happy, we no longer need you around. And that's the selfish idea you've stuck with, correct? What makes Avery happy is his choice. And I know dang well that to him, he'd never think of cutting ties with me to make himself happy. I think that your ego is getting in the way of everything, especially your marriage. But in reality, all you care about is the fact that the money you plan to use will go away if he stays in touch with me, correct? You don't like the idea of that, do you? Huh? You hate thinking about the thought of me one day asking him for all his money as I get older, right? And that's why you decided that the only way to fix your problem of having me around is to get rid of me as soon as possible. That's not exactly... And it looks as though you thought getting rid of me would be easy. But you don't have the permission of either your own parents or my son in doing something as self-centered as that. Have you been unaware this whole time of the fact that your parents and Avery like me and want to respect me? I think you should start looking at life through a clear set of eyes, ones that aren't obstructed by your selfishness.
Well, I never knew something like this could happen. Avery has been looking around for you to see where you're at and wants you back here right now.
I'm not going there now. You wanted me out of the place.
Huh? So you're really not coming to see our wedding?
Of course. Why don't you take a little responsibility for what you asked for? And another thing before we're done here. I know that you've been making fun of me as if my husband had left me long ago and had me take Avery from him as well. But really, all that happened was my husband passing away. Avery told me that he told you all about what happened, but it seems you didn't listen to him, right?
I didn't know about that. I guess I might not have heard him.
That's right. I asked Avery about this. He tells me that every so often you seem to go into a world of your own. Why's that?
Huh? I don't have a world of my own.
What if I told you that I know the reason why?
What do you want to say to me?
Up until now, Avery and I have worked together to make sure that the both of us survived. But Avery and I never thought I'd be asked to stay away from the wedding. When I told him about that, he said he had something on his mind regarding you.
Come back here right now, please. Can you please not tell him about any of this?
I understand now that you're freaking out and would love for me to be there, but I'm through with you. I cannot be asked to come to a wedding for someone as irresponsible as you. And to make sure you pay for everything you've said to me, I'm going to let them all know. I've let them all know about how you've been cheating on my son.
Huh? What are you talking about, Kelly? There's no way I'd ever do that. Stop saying things like that to me.
You might have thought nobody knew about what you were doing, but I made sure to do some research on you.
On me?
I had wanted my son to end up being happy with you, and so I wasn't going to look into anything. But now that I have, and after the ways you've treated me, I have to say that I do not agree with this wedding, and so that's why I'm not going. Of course, I'm planning on telling Avery about you cheating on him, and I hope that means he'll take action against you, like getting a settlement. I'm sure your parents are tired of you as well, right?
Wait, please, Kelly. You're going way too far now. Don't you feel like you've done enough to me already? Please, just come to the wedding and just forget about anything that's happened between us. I just want for this wedding to get back on track and for your son and I to be happy. Can we act like none of this has ever happened?
Andrea, you can't take back everything you've said to me now. And now you're going to have to live with the regrets of all the actions you've taken until now. I can see that you both won't be married anymore, so good job. Next time, you should try a little better at gaining everyone's respect. At least this time you didn't have to have some moneyless grandma at your wedding, right? Well, it doesn't matter, because your wedding has gone to crap anyway, LOL. And just after I had finished talking with Andrea, I let my son know about what was going on, and he canceled the whole wedding. And it seems after that, they even said goodbye to any chance of getting married. Then, once both her parents realized what had happened, they expressed their clear disappointment in her and said for her to never come back to their house. Andrea anticipated getting married to Avery and moving in with him, so she had already quit her job. But now she realizes she's going to be without any money and went into an extreme panic. And as for the man she was with behind Avery's back, he learned she had no more money and threw her away as well. And so, in the end, Andrea lost everything due to her selfishness. I'd say this is a great case of her getting what she asked for, and I hope that the next time she finds a man to marry, she acts a bit wiser about how she treats their parents. Well, that's if there is another man, LOL.
Hey, Jaden. I thought I'd message you to make sure you're okay. I'm really sorry about my father. He can be a bit much sometimes.
Hi, Chloe. There's no need for you to apologize, sweet lady. How he acted doesn't matter too much. I'm sure Robert was just acting that way out of concern for you since you're his daughter. He's probably feeling a bit off that we'll be getting married soon. I'm not overthinking too much about it, to be honest. I'm not gonna let him get to me too much.
Wow, Jaden, you're so kind to brush it off like that, but still, I think he went a little bit too far with what he said. I was honestly shocked at his attitude towards you as well. He was so cruel and just plain rude to you. It's not good enough. I know that he's my father and everything, but I've been doubting his humanity. It seems like he's got no empathy or kindness for anyone, really. I told him so many times that you weren't a high school dropout. I don't know how many times I have to explain it to him to make him understand.
That's what I thought when you were trying to talk to him about it. Oh well, there's not much we can do about it if he chooses not to understand. Getting married to you isn't going to change his attitude about me, so I guess I'll just have to be patient with him and explain things to him slowly. Otherwise, there's not much else I can do to improve the relationship between your father and I.
Even though he's my father, Jaden, over the years, I've started to hate him more and more, especially with the way he treats other people. My mom's also worried about the whole situation with him. She thinks that he's changed a lot over the years as well.
Oh, really? Is your mom having problems with him too? What happened exactly?
I'm sorry, Jaden. I shouldn't bring up really heavy and depressing conversations just before we get married. It's not fair on you or your mental well-being.
Even if it's a tough conversation for you to have, it's okay. We can handle things together. I've already registered our wedding at the courthouse. The wedding ceremony will be held next week as we planned. We're going to be a family, Chloe. You can talk to me about anything on your mind.
Really? Are you sure you don't mind? Then maybe us three can meet up soon and talk about what's going on.
Of course. That's not a problem at all. You can always count on me for support, Chloe. Just wanted to let you know that.
I had absolutely no clue that my daughter's fiancé was some high school dropout. This is unbelievable. You know, actually, I feel bad for not letting out my feelings about this sooner. I suppose it's a bit last minute, but who cares? Were you trying to hide the fact that you were a high school dropout or something? Did you not think I'd ever find out?
Oh, Robert. Hello there. Thank you again for meeting up with us today. And what do you mean hide it? That wasn't my intention at all. I'm usually pretty open and honest about my life, but I also think that you've misunderstood me. I don't know what made you think I was a high school dropout, Robert.
Is it because we're wealthy that you approached my daughter and wanted to date her and eventually get married? You need to be honest now. Admit it. You need to give up marrying Chloe if this is your intention.
Robert, there's definitely a misunderstanding here. Chloe and I are in love with each other. I love her with all my heart, and I've never had any woman like her.
I don't remember allowing you to call me by my first name. Don't call me that. You call me Mr. Harrison.
Oh, right. Yes, sir. Mr. Harrison, sir. Please excuse me for being so rude. I just thought I was allowed to call you that because you introduced yourself as Robert. But I don't think I've got nothing to admit to at this time, though. Nothing's going to change the fact that we're getting married really soon. The wedding ceremony will be held next week. It's come around really fast. I think Chloe would be really happy if you acknowledged that she's found a man she's in love with.
I guess it might be difficult to cancel the ceremony, since this has all progressed so quickly. Even so, I'll never recognize you as being a part of this family. I can't believe my daughter's marrying a lowlife piece of trash like you, who dropped out of school. That Chloe did everything but listen to what I said to her. She's so disobedient. For now, I can't stop this before it happens. So I'll let the plans go ahead, and I hope that you get divorced as soon as your marriage has been finalized. Then I can work at splitting you both up.
Do you think you're going overboard with this, Mr. Harrison? We love each other so much. Even if you don't give us your blessing, you shouldn't wish a divorce upon your own daughter and her husband. It's not right, sir.
There's no reason for you to talk back to me. You'll not be dictating to me what happens with this marriage. It shouldn't even be going ahead. Chloe really needs to wake up and smell the flowers. She's blinded by the rose-tinted glasses that you put on her. Mark my words, I'll rip off that terrible disguise you've been wearing in front of my daughter.
But I've not been wearing any disguise. I'm just trying to be who I am, and I'm being honest to you and your daughter, sir. Anyways, the wedding's coming up very soon, Mr. Harrison. I'm going to be marrying your beautiful daughter soon. If it's possible, I would like to build and maintain a good relationship with you for the future. I want us to get along, sir. For your daughter's sake, at least. Thank you for your understanding. I've got some work to do at the moment, so if you'll excuse me, I'll stop talking now.
Wow, I never thought this day would come. That I see my daughter walk down the aisle. I still don't approve of her marriage to you, though. I already know that it's not going to end well, Jaden.
Well, the marriage has already been finalized, sir. We're officially family now by marriage. Will you just accept the reality that we are?
A high school dropout isn't a suitable match for my daughter. And you know that. Why are you wasting our time and money?
Sir, I know you're just looking down on me like you're all high and mighty, but it's not true. I don't know how many times I have to repeat myself about this.
And do you know that she's my daughter? The daughter of the president to one of the most successful trading companies in the country? I never thought that my daughter would be so blind as to fall for someone who didn't graduate from high school and is just being a big gold digger.
I've also told you this a bunch of times, sir. I'm not marrying Chloe for the money. That's not my intention at all.
Well, if you say so, Jaden. Okay, you're going to do a speech in Chinese for us.
Wait, what? I'm sorry, but what are you talking about, sir? What speech are you referring to?
Actually, I'm not going to force you to do anything. But if you think about it, isn't it the right thing to do as a father-in-law says, since you're the groom? After all, you're the one marrying the president's daughter. The next person who'll take over the company when I retire. Since some of the directors in the company are originally from China, how about you greet them in Chinese? You do know Chinese, right? It's important for everyone in the company to know a few business phrases. And, of course, our company has gone global recently. A lot of our work partners are Chinese, so they do a lot of business talk in their native language. What do you think? Will you do it? Or is it impossible for you, Jaden? If you feel that way, maybe you should get out of this marriage while you still can, huh?
Well, sir, I never said it was impossible. But you kind of sprang this on me, which puts me under a bit of pressure.
Wow, but you're still being open to the idea. Many of my executives and friends are foreigners. They're some of the elite professionals in the business. Since you're not a shy person, I'm sure you'll have no problems with being able to speak to them in Chinese, maybe? It'll probably end up being embarrassing for you. So maybe it's better to not get married now and avoid all the hassle.
Well, I think we've allotted time to have some speeches done during the ceremony. I guess I could squeeze it in somewhere.
Of course, let's give you a chance to say something. For the sake of my friends, I'll ask you to say the final remarks at the end of the ceremony. In Chinese, alright? Wow, since you're only a high school dropout with hardly an education, I'm sure you'll find it impossible to do.
No, sir. I think I'll be perfectly fine in doing this. Please let me greet your executives.
Wow, I can't believe this. You're definitely going to get embarrassed and screw up everything. I just know it.
Okay, if you think so, Mr. Harrison. But I'm sure everything will work out just fine.
The ceremony's about to start shortly, so there's not much time for you to prepare yourself. At least, just panic a little and break out into a sweat, so I can have something to laugh about later.
I don't think I'll get embarrassed, sir, since I don't mind talking in front of a lot of people. I'll do my best with giving my speech.
Okay, if you say so. Just don't embarrass me as well. It really would be a shame to let my daughter marry an incompetent high school dropout.
No, it'll be okay, sir. Please don't panic over this. I've got it all covered. I think you think I'm going to embarrass you. In fact, Mr. Harrison, is it true that you don't understand a word of Chinese at all?
Excuse me? What on earth are you insinuating here, boy?
Well, you're probably going to wonder what I'm going to say in the speech, right? I'm sure you'll be able to understand every single word, sir.
Well, if your Chinese is good, I'm sure I'll be able to understand everything you say. Don't you dare think about provoking me right before you marry my daughter.
I'm sorry that you think that I'm doing that, sir. Please enjoy the wedding ceremony. I know I'm going to. I can't wait to see my future wife at the altar.
Hey, what the heck's going on here? What's the meaning of this charade? How is it that you can speak Chinese of all languages? And you can actually speak it really quickly? How is that possible?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Didn't I tell you that I can speak Chinese? It's actually called Mandarin, by the way. After I graduated from high school, I went to China and, well, you know when you're in the country long enough.
Now hold on just a minute there. What? You're telling me that you can speak this Mandarin fluently?
I spent the last years of my teenage life in China. Don't you think it's natural to learn another language since you're living in their society? You kept going on and on that I was a high school dropout, but Chloe only said that I spent up until high school in the States.
Wait, so you're really not a high school dropout at all? Are you serious, Jaden?
Even though I corrected you so many times, Mr. Harrison, you just didn't want to listen to what I had to say. I couldn't make any detailed corrections either.
So you live there for a bit, so that's why you're able to speak their language. Wow, I can't believe how petty you're being about this. Why must you act so strangely around me? I've done nothing to make you act this way.
Well, I don't get your attitude towards me. Why are you being like this? Why did you have to doubt my abilities so much when you know nothing about me?
That doesn't matter now. After your speech, the executives left without even talking to me. Don't you think that's a bit odd of them to do that right in the middle of a wedding? I feel like your attitude completely changed after you did your speech in front of everyone.
Oh, okay. Is that what you're wanting to know about? As I thought, Of course, you didn't understand what was going on there.
Wait, what? What are you talking about? What way that I treat people? What did you say to them?
It means you couldn't understand a word I was saying at all. I know you could speak, let alone understand a word of Mandarin at all. Can you? I should have expected it, though, since you decided to throw a curveball at me right before the ceremony.
How dare you be so rude to me, you little swine! That's not how a boy should talk to his father-in-law. Of course I know how to speak a bit of Chinese. I need it for work. So yes, I know how to communicate in it. But even though you were speaking that fast, I'd hardly understand if you spoke that fast in English as well. It's bad to talk so fast when people are trying to listen.
Oh, really? Is that so, Robert? I'm sorry for speaking so fast that you couldn't understand me. I guess it would be better to lower my speaking to a beginner's level.
Why are you acting like this towards me? You've got no right to talk to me like that. Are you trying to pick a fight with me?
That's not my intention at all, Mr. Harrison. You should know that. By the way, I think all the Mandarin speakers at the venue understood what I said. I think my speech was a pretty good level of speed. You really didn't understand me, did you, Robert?
I don't give a crap anymore about the speed anymore. Just tell me what you said, please. Why did my executives behave like they did?
I just revealed your misdeeds to them in Mandarin, that's all. If you learned the language, you'd know what I said, Robert.
Wait, what? What misdeeds are you talking about? I've not done anything wrong to them, or any other employee for that matter.
Of all the people that were in that room, you know yourself best, right, Robert? Even though you pretended to know Mandarin, you just went about your business. You approved important meetings without understanding the context of those meetings. You actually used that to your advantage so that you could get more money out of them. Did you really think that I wouldn't find out about your dishonesty, Robert?
What on earth are you talking about? How dare you accuse me of such things? How on earth would you have found out about this anyway? I haven't done any of those things that you said. As someone who doesn't work for my company, how did you find out about these rumors?
Well, to be honest with you, Robert, I'm not actually an outsider. Give me some credit for knowing a lot about your company.
What the heck's that supposed to mean? What are you trying to say, Jaden? You're making no sense to me at all.
Maybe it's because you're not listening to me. The vice president, who's my new mother-in-law's brother, hired me to work at the company.
Wait a minute. What? You're seriously not found a job, have you? You're not actually working at my company, are you?
Oh, but yes I do. If I'm married to Chloe, I might take over the company someday in the future. I thought it would be better to start working at the company as soon as I possibly could, so I can get a good feel for it.
Are you kidding me? You actually started working at my company? How did I not hear anything about this? This is absurd.
If I told you that I wanted to work at the company, you'd get annoyed, and it would be a troublesome task anyway. The vice president prepared me for the job and processed my application and resume. It went pretty smooth, actually. Thanks to you, I was able to understand more of your attitude and the actions you take at work. I understand that you're not a good fit for a president's position.
Hey, you can't just turn around and say something like that to someone in a higher position. You've got some nerve, haven't you?
Well, all this is what I said in my speech earlier, Robert. You just don't get it, do you?
What? What are you talking about? Are you going to tell me what you said in your speech or what?
I told the executives in Mandarin how incompetent my future father-in-law is as president of the company. That's why they reacted the way they did. It's possible that they've gotten angry with how you handled their interactions, and you could be fired from your precious presidential position.
Do you seriously think that they're going to dismiss me, the president of the company? They've got no right to do that. I'm the president. End of story. I'm the one who has all the decision-making power. They can't possibly throw me out of my chair.
You're sounding like a dictator, Robert, and the executives don't like that. The way you've treated them is going to be the result of your dismissal. Besides, it was originally my mother-in-law's father's company. You only inherited it because you're her husband. You do know that the vice president of the company was originally supposed to take over the business, right?
Well, that position fell to me because I was more capable of being the leader of the company. The face of the company. Why are you going about messing things up now?
Okay. I don't know what happened during that time, but if the board of directors were to have a meeting right now, no one would be siding with you, Robert. I think everyone would follow the vice president and vote for him to be the new face of the company.
What the heck? Do you really think that it's okay to do that to my own company? Did you seriously want to degrade your new father-in-law that much, Jaden? Do you think Chloe is going to be happy that you've done that to her own father?
Well, she might not be too happy about it, but she understands that this might have happened during the ceremony.
Huh? What are you talking about? You didn't tell my daughter that you were going to do this, did you?
I already told her in advance that this might come up if you made me do something that I wasn't fully comfortable with. I knew I had to talk about this kind of thing, so people knew what you were truly like at work, and to the people around you. It wasn't a decision that I made on my own, Robert. After a careful discussion that Chloe, her mother, and I had, we decided to say something.
You talked to my wife about this? Why is my wife involved in this? Why did you drag her into it? Don't you know that she's my ally and that she'll stick by me?
I'm sorry, but it sounds like your wife has given up on you, Robert. That's why Chloe, and now my mother-in-law, are on my side about this.
Is this seriously happening to me right now? How could you all stab me in the back like that? My own family! I've done nothing to any of you!
Well, I guess the girls decided that they wanted to dethrone you. They were getting sick of the way you've been treating people. Have you ever tried to take care of your family, Robert? Mentally and emotionally? It seems like all you care about is yourself.
What the heck are you trying to say here, Jaden? Go on, say it!
You say they're your family when you talk about them to other people, but do you really care for them? Do you look after their needs? Do you support them financially that much? Or do you just give all that money you earn to your secretary, Robert? You're not giving her the company's money, are you?
I haven't got a clue what you're talking about, Jaden. Who is this secretary you speak about anyways?
Up until very recently, your wife has been investigating what you've really been doing whilst you've been at work. She's already got all the evidence she needs. It seems like she was holding off until the wedding was over, though. But it seems like she's hit her limit.
What do you mean she's hit her limit? What's that supposed to mean? Why would my own wife investigate my whereabouts? Why would she invade my privacy like that?
Maybe it was because you were acting super suspicious towards her at home. Think about it, Robert. Don't you think it's safe to assume that she's known about your affair for a good amount of time now? I'm sure your wife has been in so much pain because you've been betraying her for such a long time. I'll never be like you. I'd never do that to my wife.
Why would you say something that you know nothing about? What I do is none of your business, Jaden. Don't you know how much money I've made as a company president? A lot, and it's great! What's so wrong with using your own company's money for yourself?
The company's money belongs to the hardworking people and the company itself, not you. I'm surprised you don't understand something so basic as that, Robert. It was only through your marriage that you were able to get the job anyways. Now you've gone and turned on everyone in the company, and you've made everyone your enemy. That's not how a president should be. There's no way that you're getting out of this one without losing everything you've got.
Ugh, why did something like this have to happen at my daughter's wedding? All I wanted was to embarrass you.
In the end, you were the one that got embarrassed because you didn't understand a word I said. As a result, you've been made to resign from your position. Don't you think this is such an ironic story, Robert? It could be made into a movie script, to be honest.
I'm not resigning. No matter how loud the vice president is, I still hold all the authority in the company. There are definitely still employees in the company that are on my side.
Really? You're not talking about your secretary, are you, Robert?
Well, yes, her. But I've also got other people on my side too.
I'm going to tell you something. I just received a call from the vice president. I think everyone in your sector has accused you of some wrongdoings. That can't be, can it? It seems like they're going to make you retire from the position.
Wait, what? What are you saying? How could they make me retire if I don't want to leave?
Oh dear, Robert. I'm sure you thought of people as pawns, and you were moving them around as you wanted. You know the other employees have feelings too, you know. There are some people who aren't satisfied with the methods you've used to run things. Do you finally understand what I'm saying now? You're done. Absolutely finished, Robert.
You're kidding me, right? You're lying to me, aren't you? What's going to happen to Kelsey?
Who's Kelsey? Is this your secretary you're talking about? It seems like she was trying to protect herself first, and accused you of the bad things you've done.
Wait, what? No, she wouldn't do this to me. She wouldn't leave my side like this. What's going on here?
Unfortunately, it sounds like you're not going to be able to avoid paying compensation though. But it sounds like your wife has agreed to reduce the amount that you need to pay dramatically, so that should be a relief for you, yeah?
What the heck? She can't just do that without discussing things with me first. This is all your fault. My family's in shambles because of you, boy.
It's not my fault at all, sir. It's all your fault, Robert. You brought this on yourself. You know there is always consequences to any wrong actions a person has done. I just listened to Chloe's and my mother-in-law's advice about how to take you down. I knew you'd try and trick me into doing something today. I was trying to dodge it, but you wouldn't let up, so I just did my best to my ability, and that was to speak in fluent Mandarin to your executives and say how crappy of a boss you are.
But I had no idea that this had been planned for such a long time. This is an outrage. Please, Jaden, we're both men. You know how I feel right now, yeah? Just think about how Chloe will react to what's going to happen to me. Just come over to my side and help me out, would ya?
I've thought about Chloe throughout this whole process. I'm standing by my mother-in-law. I'll also stand with the vice president. For the sake of the company and its reputation, since you've left it in tatters, you scumbag boss.
What? You're just going to stand there and watch me fall? You're just going to betray me?
You're the one who looked down on me as a high school dropout. You never approved of me marrying Chloe, right? I'm so glad that I don't have to deal with so many relatives now. It's a blessing in disguise. So, go ahead and struggle, being in solitude. You've got no one to turn to now, Robert. It's your own fault that you got into this mess. I guess you can't really help the situation and how it unfolds, right? A board meeting was held soon after the wedding celebrations were over. Robert's resignation was unanimously decided by the board, and he was kicked out of the company building. Not only was he embarrassed at the wedding, but it seems like his life was officially over after all the scandals that came out. Jaden was later then recognized for his efforts by the vice president. He just kept on working his way up the corporate ladder. He's definitely not going to end up like his scumbag father-in-law. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.